I couldn't help but wonder, if SCS Software has officially announced their Canada expansion, developing the British Columbia DLC as we speak for American Truck Simulator, why is ProMods still investing time into improving that exact same region? You would assume the opposite, right? Because realistically, when official content is on the way, most mod teams stop developing that region and start looking somewhere else, somewhere that's not so close of being replaced. And yet, ProMods Canada 1.6.1 is here, adding new scenery, new industry, and major landmarks. They went back into British Columbia not only to maintain it and make it compatible with 1.58, but to improve it. And to me, that is a statement that speaks about their character. So today, we won't just cover what's new in this update, we are going to take a look at what this decision tells us and what it means for the future of ProMods Canada. So let's take a look at what's new. With the arrival of update 1.6.1, ProMods returns us to the heart of the Columbia Valley, specifically the town of Radium Hot Springs. In the previous versions, Radium felt like a bit of a waypoint. Now it feels anchored. The town sits at the gateway to Kootenay National Park. There's a new sense of visual cohesion here. The terrain flows more naturally, and the environmental framing makes you feel like the weight of this geography is real. If before it felt like you were just passing through, it will now feel like you're actually arriving in a living Canadian town. As you head west, the road introduces you to the newly added Sinclair Canyon. The highway cuts a jagged path directly between the towering red rock cliffs. It's a legendary landmark in real world, and ProMods has captured that sense of compression perfectly. It transforms a simple stretch of asphalt into an experience. The design feels intentional to me, and I absolutely love it. Turning east, the tone shifts a bit. The world opens up into Horsethief Creek, where the highway gives way to a denser forestry vibe, narrow routes, and a haunting sense of isolation. This is where the region's identity truly starts to take over, in my opinion. Tucked into the wilderness, it's a brand new custom-built sawmill, designed specifically for ProMods Canada, so the asset cannot be found anywhere else, I guess. It's custom-made, and it's really massive. It fits the logging soul of the British Columbia perfectly. This brings new cargo routes that give the local economy a nice boost. But my favorite addition is a much quieter one, and it could seem like insignificant, but I just can't tell you how much I love this. Just passing the sawmill, you'll cross a rustic steel bridge over the Columbia River. It feels almost like a poetic transition between leaving the industrial hum of the logging camps behind and crossing over into the new, untouched wilderness. From here, it's just you, the shallow riverbanks, and a massive mountain stretching into the distance. And now for the most imposing addition in this update, the Revelstoke Dam. Located just north of Revelstoke along the Columbia River, this is one of the largest hydroelectrical facilities in British Columbia, and thanks to ProMods, you can now drive alongside it in American Truck Simulator. It's a fully integrated landmark, and to recreate something of this scale, ProMods probably had to work real hard so that the structure feels massive but still believable within ATS's world. And when you approach it, you can actually feel that weight. I feel like this is the perfect example of that saying, the cherry on top. What makes this landmark important isn't really what it represents. The dam is a true visual anchor to the region itself. It makes it all believable, and it makes it feel complete. And remember, this is all part of an update to a region that may eventually receive an official release, yet instead of freezing the development, ProMods decided to expand it. So while I was looking into this question and asked myself why they keep working, polishing and updating this region, I found something curious. They knew British Columbia was coming long before we found out. They have known for 2 years. And yet, they didn't stop it. They adjusted their resources, maybe slowed down the updates, sure, but they did not discontinue this project. 5 months ago, they delivered the full Vancouver Islands expansion, 5 new cities, fully connected from south to north. And today, we're getting this amazing polish improving the eastern part of British Columbia. They chose to keep improving our experience, to let us drive as much of Canada as possible before it becomes official. And honestly, that's the perfect example of what ProMods has always been. They were here first in ATS, first in ETS2, so have no fear. When SCS Software eventually releases BC, ProMods won't disappear. They'll adapt, they'll merge, and they'll move forward because that's what they've always done. And for that, I cannot thank them enough. And I can't thank you enough either for the constant support. If you share the same love for trucking sims, for the road, the mods, the stories behind them, consider subscribing. There's a lot more coming. And as always, until the next time, stay safe on the road and keep on trucking. Cheers.